Now let's look at the cuff. Pick up stitches from the edge stitches on both sides of the front and back pieces, then knit in rounds upwards. The new stitch techniques used include S2 Please watch my demonstration. Start with the left cuff. Begin picking up stitches from the underarm position. 11 stitches are needed here at the underarm. First, pick up 1 stitch from the middle seam. Insert the needle roughly between 2 strands. Pay attention, here we use straight needles for knitting. Then pick up the loop. Slightly adjust the loop size. This is the first stitch. Next, pick up 5 stitches from the left side of the underarm. So that makes a total of 6 stitches picked up at the underarm. The remaining 5 stitches will be picked up on the right side later. Then proceed to pick up stitches along the side edges. The number of side stitches for both the front and back pieces is identical. Just pick up the stitches evenly. After picking up roughly 1/3 of the total stitches, take out a second straight needle. Continue to pick up approximately another 1/3 of the stitch count. Once you finish picking up stitches on the front piece, check the stitch count first. Then pick up one more stitch at the junction between the 2 pieces. Next, pick up the stitches along the side edge of the back piece. Similarly, after reaching around 1/3 of the stitch count, use a third straight needle to pick up the remaining stitches. After completing the pickup of stitches, check the total stitch count. Make sure that the stitch count should be an even number. This completes the first round. Now, let's work on the second round. The first loop on the left side of the yarn tail is the starting position for each round. For easy identification, you can place a stitch marker below this stitch to mark it. Then take out a fourth straight needle. Knit 1 stitch. Pay attention to slightly tighten the yarn tail at the starting position. Next, purl 1 stitch. Continue alternating 1 knit stitch and 1 purl stitch until you finish the straight needle. After completing, use this straight needle to continue knitting. Be mindful of the junction between each straight needle. Slightly tighten the yarn tails at these positions. Continue to finish knitting with this straight needle. After completing, move on to the loops on the third straight needle. Keep knitting until there is only 1 loop left on the left needle. Reach the designated position. Leave the last stitch unknitted. This completes the second round. Next, start the third round. For the underarm position, you need to do the S2 quo. First, move the last unknitted stitch to the left needle. Then, simultaneously slip the first 2 stitches, without knitting it. Then knit 1 stitch. Next, place the 2 unknitted stitches onto the left needle. This completes one S2 quo. Then follow the texture on the left side to work the 1x1 ribbing. Keep knitting until there is only 1 loop left in this round. Pay attention to the junction of the straight needles. Slightly tighten the yarn tail. Reach the designated position. Similarly, do not knit the last loop. This completes the third round. Now start the fourth round. First, move the last loop to the left needle. Then work 1 S2 quo. Slip the first 2 loops purlwise, without working them. Then knit 1 stitch. Next, pass the 2 unworked loops over the left needle loop. This completes the S2 bow. Continue working the 1x1 ribbing by following the texture until there is only 1 loop position left in this round. The 4th round is now completed. The 5th round. Start by working 1 S2 bow. Then finish the rest of the round. This completes the 5th round. Continue with the same method for the 6th and 7th rounds. Next, start the 8th round. Start by working 1 S2 bow. Then finish the round according to the texture. Pay attention to knitting the last stitch of this round as well. This completes the 8th round. Continue with the 9th round. Work the 1x1 ribbing for this round. The 9th round is now completed. Now it's time to bind off. Here, we use the 1x1 rib bind off method. You need to work the knit stitches as purls, and the purl stitches as knits while binding off. The first stitch is in the braid texture. Work 1 purl stitch. The second stitch is in the tile unit texture. Work 1 knit stitch. Then pass the previous stitch over the next stitch. This bind off 1 stitch. Continue with 1 purl stitch for the next knit stitch. Here, the texture below is braid, so work 1 purl stitch. Before you start, use your left hand to pinch the bottom of the loops on the right needle. Take the needle out. Then place the needle underneath the yarn. Insert it back into the loop. Work 1 purl stitch. Bind off 1 stitch. Continue with 1 knit stitch for the next purl stitch. Here, the texture is tile unit. Work 1 knit stitch. Before knitting, take the needle out. Place the needle above the yarn end, and reinsert it back into the loop. Work 1 knit stitch. Bind off. Always follow the rule to change the next stitch. And before knitting, always change the position of the yarn by moving the right needle. Complete the bind off. Now there is only one loop left on the right needle. Simply enlarge the loop. Leave a tail of about 15 centimeters and cut the yarn. Pass the yarn tail through the loop. Slightly tighten it. This completes the bind off. Next thread the reserved yarn tail into a darning needle. Sew a few stitches to slightly join the beginning and ending. After completing this, hide the yarn tail on the wrong side of the fabric. This completes one cuff. Use the same method to finish the other side of the cuff. Now let's look at the neckline. Pick up stitches around the edge of the front and back pieces, then knit 1 by 1 ribbing in rounds upwards. Please watch my demonstration. Before picking up stitches, sew a few stitches slightly at the first row position of the shoulder parts on the front and back pieces, sewing a few stitches slightly here. Then start picking up stitches from any shoulder position. The specific number of stitches is explained on the chart. Pick up stitches evenly all around. You can skip at the boundary of both sides, or pick up one stitch on each side. Pay attention that the final total number of stitches should be even numbers. After completing the first round of picking up stitches, for the remaining rounds, knit 1 by 1 ribbing without increasing or decreasing. Once completed, finish with a 1 by 1 ribbing bind off. Finish the neckline. Next, let's look at the decoration. It includes 2 leaves, 5 flowers, and 1 decorative cord. Let's start with the leaves. There are 2 sizes, large and small. The large leaf begins with a foundation chain, then work back and forth from there. The first 2 rounds of the small leaf are crocheted in rounds, followed by 2 rows worked back and forth. Several crochet stitches will be applied, which are marked on the chart. I won't list them all here. Now, let me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Let's start with the large leaf. Begin with the foundation chain. Pick up the yarn tail with your right hand, wrap it around your left little finger, and pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Then pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. The hook will move between these 2 points. Place the hook under the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Pinch the crossing point of the loop with your left thumb and middle finger. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This slip knot does not count as a stitch. Slightly tighten, adjust the size of the loop. Now start crocheting chain stitches. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. One chain stitch is completed. This braid represents one stitch. Continue crocheting chain stitches. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This is the second stitch. Repeat this process. Continue crocheting the remaining chain stitches. Refer to the chart for the exact number of stitches. This completes the foundation chain. Move on to the first row. Chain 1 to begin. Then in the last chain of the foundation chain, make 1 single crochet, which is the second chain from the hook. Insert the hook into the top half loop. This strand. Yarn over. Draw through. Now there are 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again, and draw through the 2 loops on hook at once. 1 single crochet is completed. We can see a V-shaped stitch on the right side. This is the single crochet stitch. Move on to make 1/2 double crochet, wrap the yarn. Then insert into the top half loop of the left chain stitch. Yarn over. Draw through. Now there are 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over again, and draw through all 3 loops on the hook at once. 1/2 double crochet is completed. Next, work a double crochet. Yarn over. Insert into the top half loop of the next chain stitch. Yarn over. Draw through. Now there are 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over again, and draw through the first 2 loops. 2 loops left. Yarn over again, and draw through both 2 loops. 1 double crochet is completed. Continue with double crochets. Wrap yarn. Insert into the left chain position. Yarn over. Draw through. Now there are 3 loops on your hook. Then yarn over successively, and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this twice. Once. Twice. The second double crochet is done. Now move on to the third double crochet. Continue making double crochets until you have 6 chains left. When you reach the correct position, the next stitch is a DC 2-in-1, which means making 2 double crochets in the same stitch. One, 2. A DC 2-in-1 is now completed. Now move on to the half double crochets. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Yarn over again, and draw the yarn through. Yarn over once more, and draw through all 3 loops on your hook. A half double crochet is complete. Continue with 3 more half double crochets. After completing them, now there is 1 chain stitch left. Start with a single crochet in this stitch. Insert the hook. Yarn over. And draw the yarn through. Yarn over again, and draw through the 2 loops on your hook. Next, work a half double crochet in the same stitch. Then make 1 chain stitch. Follow up with a double crochet in the same stitch. Next, work a CH2 picket. Chain 2. Then pick up the strand closer to you on the double crochet stitch and the strand on the left side. Work a slip stitch. Insert the hook. Yarn over. And draw the yarn through all the loops on your hook in one go. Slightly tighten it. The CH2 picket is completed. Next, make 1 chain stitch. Then work another double crochet in the same place. Chain 1 more. And work a single crochet in the same pulse. Let's take a look at the chain stitches. On this side, there are still 2 strands remaining here. From now on, pick up these 2 strands and crochet. This means the same insertion point for the stitches on this side. Start with 2 half double crochets. Be mindful not to insert the hook into the same position on the right side here. When working on this side, you need to place the beginning tail of the yarn above the hook. Weave in the tail as you go. Then crochet the corresponding number of double crochets. Refer to the chart for the exact stitch count. Pay attention to weaving in the ends. After completing, the next stitch is a DC2 tog. Start with 2 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over. Insert into the left chain. yarn over, draw the yarn through, yarn over again, draw through the first 2 loops. This is an incomplete double crochet. Then work the second one. Yarn over, insert into the next left chain. Yarn over, draw through. Yarn over again, draw through the first 2 loops. This is the second incomplete double crochet. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, and draw through all 3 loops on the hook. This completes 1 DC2 tog, then work 1 double crochet. Followed by another DC2 tog. Start by working 1 incomplete double crochet in each next 2 chains. One. 2. Then yarn over, and draw through all the loops on the hook. Another DC2 tog is completed, then work 1 more double crochet, and 1 DC2 tog. After that, make a DC2 in 1. The DC2 in 1 is completed. For the last stitch, make a DC3 in 1. That means working 3 double crochets in the same stitch. One. 2. 3. The DC3 in 1 is now completed. This completes the first row. Now, move on to the second row. Chain 3 to begin. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. Then, in the last stitch of the previous row, make a DC2 in 1. Since this row is crocheted on the wrong side, the stitch corresponds to the braid above the double crochet on the left. 2 strands like these. Work a DC2 in 1 here. Next, work 1 more DC2 in 1 in the left stitch. After completing it, continue with 3 double crochets. Keep working by referring to the chart. Continue until you finish the last half double crochet of this row. The last half double crochet is done. The next stitch is a HDC3 tog. Work an incomplete half double crochet in each next 3 stitches on the left side. Yarn over. Then insert the hook. Yarn over. And draw through. This completes an incomplete half double crochet. Next, work the second one. Yarn over again. Insert the hook into the next left stitch. Yarn over, and draw through. That's the second one. Now, work the third one. After completing, yarn over again, and draw through all loops on the hook. This completes the HDC3 tog. This finishes the second row. Now, let's work on the third row. Chain 1 to begin. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. Then skip the stitch from the previous HDC3 tog. Work 1 single crochet into the next left half double crochet stitch. Continue working until finish the last double crochet in this row. After completing, there is one DC3 tog left. Work 1 incomplete double crochet into each next 3 stitches on the left. One, 2, 3. Then yarn over, and draw through all loops on the hook. The DC3 tog is completed. This finishes the third row. Continue to the fourth row. Chain 3 to begin. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. Then, in the last stitch of the previous row, work 1 DC2 in 1. Continue crocheting to the last stitch. The last stitch is a DC3 tog. The fourth row is completed. Continue to the fifth row. Chain 2 to begin. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. Skip the stitch of DC3 tog. Work 1 DC2 tog. Finish this row. This completes the fifth row. Next, move on to the sixth row. Chain 2 to begin. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. Then work 1 DC2 tog. in the last 2 stitches of the DC2 togs in the previous row. Continue to finish this row. The 6th row is now completed. Next, move on to the 7th row. Chain 2 to begin. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. Skip the stitches of the DC3 tog and the first double crochet in the previous row. Then work 1 HDC2 tog. First, work 2 incomplete half double crochets. Note that these are worked in the 3rd to last and 4th to last stitches of the previous row. Then yarn over and draw through all the loops on your hook. The HDC2 tog is now completed. Continue to finish this row. This completes the 7th row. Chain 1 to secure. Leave a yarn tail of about 60 centimeters and cut the yarn. Pull the yarn tail through. Slightly tighten. This completes the large leaf. Next, we will crochet the small leaves. Start with the required number of foundation chains. Then crochet the first round. Chain 1 to begin. Start from the second chain from the hook. Crochet the stitches corresponding to the chart. Until you reach the last chain stitch. When you arrive at the designated position, make a SC2-in-1 in this last chain stitch, which means making 2 single crochets in the same stitch. 1, 2. The SC2-in-1 is completed. Then, chain 1. Then, make another SC2-in-1 in the same stitch. Another SC2-in-1 is completed. Continue crocheting all the way down to finish this side. Pay attention to weaving in the yarn tail. After completing the last single crochet, join with a slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch. Insert your hook into the first stitch, which means these two strands. Yarn over, and draw the yarn through. Pull through all the loops on the hook. This forms the braid of the slip stitch. The joining slip stitch does not count as a stitch. You need to pull it tight. This completes the first round. Move on to crochet the second round. Chain 2 to begin. Then, in the first stitch of the previous round, which is the same insertion point where you just slipped, make a double crochet. Continue crocheting according to the chart. Until you reach one stitch before. The first SC2 in one of the previous row. Arrive at the corresponding position. Make a HDC2 in 1 in the next stitch on the left. That is, work 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. 1, 2. The HDC2 in 1 is completed. Then continue to make 2 single crochets. After completing that, on the chain stitch on the left side, work 1 half double crochet and 1 double crochet first. Then work a CH2 picket. Chain 2. Then pick up the 2 strands of yarn here. And work 1 slip stitch. Next, on the same chain, work another double crochet and half double crochet. Continue to finish the remaining part of this row. Pay attention to don't skip the stitch on the left side. For the last DC3 tog, work it in the last single crochet stitch of the previous round. the 2 chain spaces of this round, and the first double crochet stitch in this round. This completes the second round. Next, move on to the third row. Chain 1 to begin. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. Skip the DC3 tog stitch. Work at SC2 tog. First, make 2 incomplete single crochets. Insert into the adjacent double crochet stitch. Yarn over and draw through. This completes 1 incomplete single crochet. Next, work the second one. Insert into the adjacent stitch. Yarn over and draw through. The second one is now complete. Then, yarn over, draw through all the loops on the hook. A SC2 tog is now complete. Finish this row. This completes the third row. Continue with the fourth row. Chain 1 to begin. Turn the work counterclockwise. Then skip the last stitch. Make it SC2 tog. Continue to finish this row. The fourth row is now complete. Chain 1 to secure. Leave a 50 cm tail and cut the yarn. This completes the small leaf. Next, let's look at the flowers. There are 2 sizes, large and small. Both use the double magic ring method. Work in rounds counterclockwise from the starting point. Let me demonstrate. Let's start with the large flower. First, start with a double magic ring. Pick up the yarn with your right hand. Wrap it twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 strands on your left index finger. Use your right thumb and index finger to pinch where the loops overlap. Carefully remove them. Then hold the yarn with your left hand, holding the loop with your left thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Insert the hook into the big ring. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Draw the yarn through. Now there is 1 loop on the hook. Make a chain stitch to secure. Pull tight. The magic ring is completed. Move on to the first round. Chain 3 to begin. These 3 chain stitches count as 1 double crochet. Then make 13 more double crochets into the big ring. Including the beginning chain. That makes a total of 14 stitches here. Then close the magic ring. There are now 2 loops. Gently pull the beginning tail of the yarn. You will see 1 loop starts to move. Tighten the moving loop. One loop left. Directly tighten the yarn tail. The loop is secured now. Then join with a slip stitch to the third chain of the beginning chain. That is, the braid on the right side of the first double crochet stitch. Pick up 2 strands and insert. Make 1 slip stitch. Tighten it. This completes the first round. Next, the second round. Chain 1 to begin. Then make a SC2 in 1 and the beginning chain of the previous round. That is, at the same insertion point where you just made the slip stitch. Place the yarn tail above the hook. Weave in the ends as you go. Next, make 1 single crochet and 1/2 double crochet in the next stitch on the left. Pay attention, the stitches here may pucker a bit. Make sure not to skip any stitch. Then make a HDC2 in 1 in the adjacent stitch. Next, make 1 slip stitch in the left stitch. Then work 3 chains. At the same insertion point where you just made the slip stitch, make a DC2 in 1. Next, make 1 double crochet and 1/2 double crochet in the next stitch. Then work 2 HDC2 in 1 consecutively. After completing those, make 1/2 double crochet and 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Next, in the adjacent stitch, make a DC2 in 1. Then work 3 chains. At the same stitch here, make 1 slip stitch. Then, make a HDC2 in 1 in the next stitch. Next, in the adjacent stitch, make 1/2 double crochet and 1 single crochet. Then, in the remaining 3 stitches, work a SC2 in 1 in each. After completing those, join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of this round. Tighten the yarn. The second round is complete. Chain 1 to secure. Leave a 20 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. That completes one large flower. Refer to the chart to finish the remaining 2 large flowers and 2 small flowers. That concludes the explanation for crocheting the flowers. Crochet the decorative cord, which is made by crocheting 2 strands together. Take out the corresponding color of yarn. Cut 2 lengths of yarn about 8 meters each. Combine 2 strands together. Leave about 50 centimeters at the starting point for one of the strands. Begin with a chain stitch. Continue crocheting chain stitches. The number of chain stitches is not fixed. Crochet until you reach the desired length. Once you reach the desired length, leave about 5 centimeters of one strand and cut it. Leave about 50 centimeters of the other strand and cut it. Then hide both short ends inside the fabric. This completes the decorative cord. Next, we will sew the pieces together. Start by sewing the leaves and flowers. After completing those, sew on the decorative cord. Sew the small leaf on the right side of the front piece, and the large leaf on the left side. The bottom of the leaves should overlap slightly. Be mindful not to overlap too much. Place the flower slightly above the middle of the leaves. Curve it upwards a bit. Once you've decided on the positions, you can secure them lightly with pins. Be careful when using pins. Secure the other leaf as well. Also, secure the flower in place above. After the positions are secured, start by sewing the small leaf on the right side. Thread the previously saved yarn tail into the sewing needle. Then pick up the strands from the fabric. Sew together the edge stitches of the leaf with the fabric. Continue sewing around this circle. Adjust as you sew. Ensure the leaf lies flat as you sew it. Once sewing is complete, hide the yarn tail inside the wrong side of fabric. Weave the yarn tail in a few times. Then trim off any excess tails. This completes the sewing of one leaf. Use the same method to sew the other leaf and the remaining flowers. Next, sew the decorative cord. First, range it roughly according to the finished product image. Place it in the approximate position. Adjust and secure it with pins as you go. Refer to the finished product image for the exact shape, or adjust it according to your own preference. Try to make the decorative cord as rounded as possible. Once you have determined the position, use the long yarn tails at both ends to secure it. Pick up a strand from the front piece and sew it to the one on the wrong side of the decorative cord. Make sure the decorative cord is securely fastened. This concludes the explanation of the decorative elements. Up to this point, we have completed the demonstration of the making method for this vest. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our customer service. Susan's family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.